I mean, he started 24 games. He threw 13 touchdown passes. He threw 13 interceptions. And the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette reported that he didn't like how he was treated late last year, and he didn't like the fact that they brought in Russell Wilson. Well, you're not Terry Bradshaw. You're not Ben Roethlisberger, Kenny. You're not going to get special treatment. This is the NFL. This isn't high school. And if you don't earn, you get gone. And he's gone to Philadelphia.
Another one bites the dust.
Breaking news into CBS Sports HQ, Russell Wilson plans to sign with the Pittsburgh Steelers. It'll be a one-year deal with the Broncos still on the hook for $38 million this season. Russ threw for 26 touchdowns and 8 interceptions for Denver last season before being benched by week 16. He now looks for a fresh start out in Pittsburgh.
I mean, it's all right. Like, overrated as fuck, in my opinion. I mean, and you know what, though? That's typically how the bullshit goes. You feel me?
That Ravens free agent linebacker Patrick Queen told Swagoo that he plans to sign a 3-year, $41 million contract with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
The Pittsburgh Steelers have announced the acquisition of quarterback Justin Fields in a trade with the Chicago Bears. 25-year-old Fields was drafted by the Bears with the 11th pick in the first round of the 2021 draft out of Ohio State.
Pittsburgh Steelers select Troy Fautanu,
Roman Wilson, Peyton Wilson.
Yeah, what do they call them? Con artists? I saw that. Man, that's pretty good. Cool nickname.
You have a favorite nickname, Omar?
I've been called worse.
Them boys just might be back in town. Hey, you guys, it's Boogie Miller, aka Ray, at you with a reaction to the 2024 Pittsburgh Steelers offseason and what they got going on this time around. I'm excited, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm really excited, but at the same time, there's a couple things that got me looking like,
It's all right. Like, overrated as fuck.
The only two things I was really on that about is the Russell Wilson pick up off the scrap pile shit, and then us getting rid of Deontay Johnson. I know why, because of his attitude and shit, but at the same time, that boy nice. The 1-2 combo with George Pickens and Deontay Johnson, like, come on now, you can't get any nicer than that. But we got the new boy in the rise, Roman Wilson. I'm hoping he will be that exact piece that we need to replace Deontay Johnson, because I feel like that fills the gap and have us trying to figure out, okay, who's going to be the number 1 and number 2. Like, if he fills in Deontay Johnson's spot, he's an automatic number 2, because that boy, that man, that myth, George Pickens, needs to make that second step for him to be what I feel like top 5 in the league. Before we even get into all that, though, let's talk about this quarterback situation. Russell Will and that young boy Justin Fields, the one I've been waiting for. I'm sorry, even though I know Russ's stats was nice, I feel like they were misleading. Because honestly, if you really look at what he was doing last year, if you was really watching those games, we both know that that man is past his prime and it's time for him to give up the cleats. Not saying that man doesn't have a little bit of gas left in his tank, because I do believe so. I do believe he has a little bit of wiggle room to try to squeeze his way past to another season. But at the end of the day, brother, on bro, it's time for you to give it up. I need you to give whatever knowledge you need to give to that young boy Justin for him to be possibly the future of the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I know what some of y'all are saying. 26 touchdowns? He needs to put up the cleats? Yes, because he doesn't look like the old Russell Will. He looks like an old Russell Will. And everybody knows the difference between them. Like, we ain't gonna act like we don't see what we see on the field. That man just be, don't know, fuck it. Sling. I mean, you can do that with George Pickens, but like, brother, he doesn't move the same on his feet like he used to. But what he could be is a transition. Not just that, but a teacher. A teacher for that young man, Justin Fields. At the end of the day, you are a Super Bowl winning champion. Give him the pointers to be an A1 quarterback, Russ. Do the right thing. And I'm not saying you have to leave the league. But just know after this year, you're going to lead the Steelers. But until then, you is my quarterback. So you gonna do great. You been in the Steelers black and gold. The standard is the standard, buddy. I don't know what else to tell you. This ain't Seattle, and this ain't Denver. If you do the shit that you were doing the last couple years, you're gonna get cooked. You're gonna put yourself under your own fire, buddy. But you can change my mind. And not just my mind, the entire Steelers nation. Because it ain't just me, I promise you that. Hey, you do good, you do general manager shit type shit on the field, hey, I'm gonna be cheering your shit off. No questions. Russ, oh yeah, that's Russ. He looking like the old Russ. All that type of shit. But you gotta put in the work, buddy. You gotta put in the work. Or at least not have a drop off. Because I'm not even gonna lie to you. At the end of the day, this time around, the way the Steelers retooled, honestly, if you do what you do last year, we still might get to the playoffs. So I just need you to at least stay confident. That's it. Just make sure you can be at least a top 15 quarterback. If you can do that and not bum it up, we're great. But enough about Russell. Let's get into the meat and potatoes, and then we'll get into the defense. With the new additions of Troy Fautanu and then getting Broderick Jones last year to tighten up those ends, man, brother, that is a huge plus. Hey, we still got to see dude on the field, but I feel like he's a major key piece of what this offense is going to look like this year. Him, Zach Frazier, and what is his name? Mason McCormick. I don't feel like all of their impacts is going to be felt immediately, but just to have them is a comfort at the end of the day. Our offensive line woes for the last few years, man, it probably was even worse than fucking Trubisky at times. That shit was looking crazy. That's exactly why I'm happy the con man and Mike Tomlin did their due diligence this year. And, finally decided to be like, hey, you know what? We're going to answer this within these first couple rounds and get this shit together. And with the additions we added to it last year as well, we should be pretty good. I feel confident in the O-line this year. And that's saying something. Then, this is the good old-fashioned D. No Diddy. You got my boy TJ, Cam Hayward, and you got my young boy JPJ, Keanu Benton, and then you got the signing of Patrick Queen, and then an interesting draft pick in Peyton Willis. I am kind of really iffy on him just because of his injuries, but what I've heard so far, and also on top of what I've seen, shit, I'm just waiting for him to get on the field and see what he do, man. Hey, he looking like him and Patrick Queen is going to be our answers for the middle linebacker woes we've been having for the last few years. That shit also has been looking crazy, even though Atlanta Roberts held it down and Holcomb held it down as well. Them boys, I hope, let's just take a moment. I really hope and pray that Holcomb get his shit together. Regardless if he stay on the Steelers or not. We praying for you out there, brother. Only real thing I'm looking for the defense is for Keanu and Joey Porter Jr. to make that second step into their sophomore year. And honestly, see if we can get somebody on the other side of JPJ. That is the real key for me. Because that back end shit, to me, ever since 2015, that back end has been getting cooked. This shit's been pissing me off, man. We had fucking Joe Hayden, which is my boy, but you know how that went. You feel what I'm saying? We tried with, what's his name? Patrick P. I got nothing to say about that, man. Anyway, yeah, he cool. Don't get me wrong, I respect him. But, damn, brother. But if we can get that number 2 in corner, honestly, that'll be the only thing that I'll be really like, yes, we got it. Because my defense is always defense every year. Like, that's never really been a problem. The running game sometimes can be looking a little off, but that's because of injury. More than most times, Cam Hayward on the back end of his career. And then, like I said, we had to find somebody to replace to it, which it looks like it's going to be Bitten or, whatever. Either way it goes, the defense going defense. I ain't forget about my other young boy, Nick Herbig, either. That boy Nick nice. He gonna be a problem. Him, TJ, Alex Smith. In my honest opinion, this offseason and this whole totality, I'm gonna give it an A. A+. Back in the day, we handled all the issues we needed to handle in this offseason. Handled the quarterback. Handled getting rid of Deontay Johnson by drafting wide receiver. We handled the whole O-line situation. We handled the middle linebacker situation. We also tried to get another corner to see what's going to happen and try to shift it out. Just because I don't know what's going on with Corey Trice. We're going to have to see how that develops later this year and, how everybody else is going to be too. But that's pretty much it, man. I feel like my boys is on to something special for these years to come. But let me know what you guys think of this video. Let me know if you feel like if I missed anything or if I just over-explained something, over-glazed something, or even just didn't explain something enough, Steeler football is on the way. And hey, if you want to see more videos like this, only thing you got to do is hit that like button or that subscribe button, or both, if you really love me. But alright, y'all. Peace.